Time now for our stream team, and this is a story that has our blog buzzing. In just 24 hours, the story has become the most looked at story of the week and one of the most looked at of the year. A new group in Texas is offering scholarships to a demographic that just might surprise you: white males. Exclusively white men only who maintain a 3.0 grade point average. The nonprofit group, called the Former Majority Association for Equality, it was started by Colby Bohannon, an Iraq War veteran and a student at Texas State University. I talked to him yesterday about why he started this program. Listen.
This is a very abrasive subject in America. And one of the first things that we wrote on our website, we wanted to state clearly that we do not promote any kind of racial bigotry or white supremacy, and we don't take money from people who do. If you're part of a white supremacist group or keep your money. We don't want your money. That's our stance on that. We don't have any political agendas or any kind of message that we're trying to send. I've had dozens of questions about affirmative action. We're not saying anything about anything except for helping poor white males who are trying to go to college and need a little help.
All right, let's bring in our stream team now to discuss the controversial scholarships. CNN contributor Erick Erickson and White House correspondent for the America Urban Radio Network, April Ryan. The vast majority of the comments, you guys, on our blog support this scholarship, and these are people of all different ages and races. Nelson wrote, I'm a proud Hispanic. I don't see anything wrong with an all-white male scholarship. I've heard of every type of scholarship program out there to help every race. It's only fair. April, let's start with you because you are shaking your head. You do not like this. This is not a good idea. You don't like it.
Once we start down this road, I mean, you may as well start back into saying, okay, whites only water fountains and whites only buildings again. I have an 8-year-old child who's asking me now, Mommy, tell me about what happened back then. I mean, we're reverting instead of going forward. And this is basically something, he can say it's not about race. This is about race and gender. It's definitely targeting white men. What about a Hispanic woman? What about an African-American woman? We're not allowed. What about a black man? What about a Hispanic man? Not allowed.
But you know, April, what he says is there's already scholarships for all those people. I mean, there are scholarships for people with left hands. There are scholarships for people who are tall. There are scholarships for people who are Lutheran, Catholic. I mean, he's saying that with the way, and he also says that he's not looking to the past. He's looking to the future, a future where the majority becomes the minority. And in Texas, that's already happening in some cases. April, I mean, do you see? He thinks that there's a hole that needs to be filled, and it just makes it fair.
Our past determines our future. Let's go back to Brown versus Board of Education. They used that in the Supreme Court to correct a wrong. Need I say more? Now, this seems more social than it is anything else. And we're living in an era of inclusion. Now, scholarships by themselves are a great tool, a financial tool, to move people forward in education and to gain middle class or upper income status. But when you talk about this and relegating it to one section, we're going backwards in a society. I mean, let's talk about, if you want to do something, let's have a bridge grant for all students, not just white males. And I mean, this is really going backwards to me.
Okay, so Eric, let me ask you, because our response to this was overwhelmingly positive. People who said, look, we need more money for college. We've got all kinds of different kinds of scholarships out there I mean, there's even a scholarship for students who love Star Trek. Rick wrote on our blog, I got a scholarship for being left-handed. I think that private groups should be able to fund scholarships for any reason that they choose. What do you think, Eric? Isn't this just another in a multitude of specific scholarships for lots of different kinds of people?
Oh, absolutely it is. If we're going to get rid of scholarships for African Americans and get rid of scholarships for Hispanics and get rid of scholarships for Asians and get rid of scholarships for women, then let's get rid of the scholarship. But if we're not going to get rid of those, then let's keep this one. You know, let's not forget that whites in Appalachia are one of the poorest demographics in the entire region. There are very few scholarships that cater towards them. This scholarship apparently would. If we're going to get rid of the others, let's get rid of this one. But if we're not going to get rid of those, then there's no sense in getting rid of this one.
But Eric, don't you think that this is a little bit different because we have a history that's tortured and painful in this country that makes even today, when you start talking about a white male-only scholarship, it makes people kind of cringe because there was a time when white men, frankly, ruled this country and had all of the access. And the reason why we have all these other, the reason why we have all these splintered other kinds of scholarships is to give people
You can justify that for example, a scholarship for African Americans, given the history of this country. But can you for Asians or for Hispanics or for women. And now we have reached the point in Texas, at least, where the white men are no longer the majority in Texas.
April, go right ahead, my dear.
Let me say this, Eric. Let's go back to the Bush years. President Bush, then President Bush, he gave an amicus brief, a friend of the court brief to the Supreme Court on the University of Michigan a case where they were dealing with preferential admissions. He did not like that. He did not like legacy. He did not like preferential treatment for certain students to come in. Let's level the playing field. Let's not do this.
All right, you guys, thank you so much.
Now, I agree with April on that, but the problem is we're not going to get rid of those other scholarships.
All right,
We're
Eric
not,
Erickson,
but let's make them fair.
April Ryan, thank you both of you. This is a passionate subject. Please, let's go to CNN.com/ally, join the discussion. Thank you both of you. Really appreciate it.